Hello and welcome to jobskillshare.org. This is Danish. Today I will be explaining our Junior Network Engineer Training Program. This program is created for people who are already an IT professionals or someone who have already finished our first program, which is Guide Me to IT program. For example, if you're brand new and you would like to start an IT career in a more structured way, or you want someone to guide you in the program, then our first program is the way to go. Now, this program is designed for people who want to now transition from help desk or IT support positions, or they would like to look for more advanced positions like junior network engineer. Now, this type of titles are usually used in companies where you are actually working on network devices. For example, switches, routers, or anything in between that type of equipments, then you are called this type of title. Now, of course, in IT, the way it works in reality is that people can call you junior network engineer and they can give you server related stuff and many other things. Now, that is totally up to the company. But most likely, we're basically teaching you the skills that are going to be needed for any advanced positions in IT regardless. And most of experts actually believe or would agree that Network Plus and CCNA is the way to go if you would like to have a better core networking for any other jobs like security or systems administration or even network engineering in more detail or advanced way, or even cloud administration. You still will have to know or understand the core of how network works. And for that, of course, we already know that Network Plus is a broad certification from CompTIA. It kind of goes into more of the basics, but it still touches some of the things that CCNA will not touch. But then because it's broad, it doesn't go into more specifics, then CCNA is the way to go for more specific learning, and that is where you touch switches and routers in a more detailed way. In JSS, we don't just go by certification. And yes, we are going to give you the content that is going to target these two certifications, but our instructors and the way we design this whole program is to teach you real world job skills. And that's why this program is very important for people who would like to transition from now a level 1 or level 2 positions like support, and now they would like to move up to a more advanced careers. So consider this program to be targeted towards that networking side. We call it NOC engineers or junior network engineers. But at the same time, this specific certification in the whole program is designed for you to go into any advanced field. For example, on the bottom, once you finish our 16 weeks program, then we will have every week when you finish a test out content, which is basically I'm going to go over. This is kind of like your weekly task. You're going to go into this platform, watch a video, understand things, and this is kind of like you're doing it in your own flex time, where you have time anytime throughout the week. You can just go in there, do the labs, and try to understand what is going on, and you're basically learning a lot from that platform. But of course, when we talk about advanced learning in IT, there's going to be many doubts. Now, to clear the doubts, we have a 2 to 3 hours live sessions per week, basically. So in that week, if you finish 2 modules, an instructor is going to try to cover everything about that 2 modules. So you may have questions, you may have doubts, and on top of that, instructor is going to actually show some of the real world tips that is going to be matching those modules. So by the end of 16 weeks, you're going to be actually doing 16 weeks worth of self-paced training with labs, and at the same time, you're going to be guided by a mentor in live sessions where then the trainer will show you more that is included in this career. And that's why our program is a little unique than just following a certification path, because we're not trying to push you towards passing the certificate, even though you can go for certification, but that is not our focus. Our focus is now real world skills. A lot of people now say skills are the new degree, and that is what we are basically focusing on, that we are going to teach you the skills that are going to make you ready for specifically focusing on the network engineer job. But at the same time, this is going to give you that strong guidance that now, since you know the core of networking, you can go and tackle any other positions after this. Of course, in JSS, because it's such a big platform, you have also memberships, and in that membership, you have labs. That labs can be then targeted towards different careers like systems administration, security, or even cloud now. So this is why this program is the core for someone to get going in this career, next level. We're talking about transition over here. Now, how is this working in this whole platform? You're basically going to click on this link, which is going to be shared in many different ways. We have a Discord community that there we have programs. So this is the best way to talk to us before taking this program. Then we have a YouTube in the descriptions. These links will be shared. There are many ways we are going to share this link. But once you see this diagram, this tells you that your first program out of from 1 week to 8 weeks, you're going to be doing Test Out Network Pro, which is basically, I'm going to show you in a second, this is going to target this certification, CompTIA, okay? And after that, 9 to 16 weeks, you're going to be doing a lot of Cisco CCNA level study, routing and switching. And if you would like to know exactly what is going to be covered per week, then you can click on this PDF file, and now you see this is a very detailed PDF to tell you exactly what is going to be covered from starting to all the way to 16 weeks. Now in this PDF file, we also put a details for cost related. So once you go over the details and you feel like this is something that is for you and this is something that you can pay for, then go ahead and submit training form. We are not accepting every single person because we are checking if this person has some type of basics knowledge. If you don't have a basic knowledge, then we will recommend you to our first program, which is exactly the same way we guide people for the same amount of time, and then you basically do a lot of things in that program. Yes, in that program we don't have live sessions, but it's very well guided by multiple trainers. And once we approve your application, you simply get an email with the payment details and everything. And once you do that, of course, after that, you will be joining the schedule that you see on this diagram. Every time when we change the schedule, it will see a new dates over here. So if you feel like this is the dates that you want to commit, then of course you are going to go ahead and go for this program. Again, in this whole training, the other things that we offer is, of course, after the training, we have a very powerful platform, JSS, and in that we have made our own video trainings, our own labs are available. These are real labs. And then after that, of course, you're more doing a very real world and open skills learning. So you have more capabilities that you can go from outside of this program. But the reason you would want to stick to this program because you want to be pushed, you want to be guided, and you want to, because these are broad certifications, you don't want your focus to be somewhere else when you're targeting something like this, which is very technical career. And that's where we are going to then help you with the resume, internship hours, and skills guidance. This is a huge area. Why? Because a lot of people, when they do the trainings, they don't get this type of value. We give you this value only if you finish the programs correctly. Now, of course, we don't sell references. We don't sell hours. You have to finish our projects. And that is not because that is not under payments. If you pay for this certification or this program, you're only paying for equipments, you're paying for the access, you're paying for the instructor hours, but you're not paying for the references. That is something that you have to earn in our projects. So yes, at the end you may pass the whole program, but if your communication is not good with us, if your internship hours are not good, if you've not done the projects correctly, you will not get the titles from JSS. We will not give you the reference. So this is how real it is, and that's why when people finishes our programs, their resume are very solid. Their resumes have something to show, not only just the skills, but actual company names and the internship hours, and that is what makes it so powerful for someone to go out of this program and say, look, I have something that I can now transition. Because that's the hardest part for a lot of individuals. When they do home labs, it's not easy for them to break that. Now, a lot of people have done it. I'm not saying that you can't do it. You can do it definitely, but there is a more structured way, a more tested way, versus a way that you can just go and do it yourself, which you can still be successful. So don't think that this is the only way. So now I am going to show you what's going to be covered once you are accepted in this program, how do we actually conduct this whole training? So the first thing you will need is a Discord, because that's what we use for collaboration. So you will get an email from us with a link, private link, and then you will download the Discord. You will be accessing that collaboration server, you and other members, and with the trainers, and you will see something like this. This is somewhere where you will join in for the first day, first week. You're going to be given tasks right here, exactly how you're seeing this. In week 1, you will need to finish this from testout.com. Now, Testout is a platform which offers very powerful simulations, videos, and things that are more interactive. So that's why in the week 1, you're going to finish this type of education in this Network Plus Pro to get started with the basics of OSI models and cabling and network devices. Now, when you go over this is going to take you 6 or 7 hours per week, which is not much for a whole week. But because you have labs, of course, you're going to be doing labs again and again most of the time. So it takes you more than that. And that's where you're just going back to this platform and keep learning. Now, you will have doubts, you will have questions, and that's where the biggest thing in this program is the live discussions. This is where a trainer will then give you 2 to 3 hours with the whole batch, and then you will discuss the real tips, the real education from the trainer, which probably will not be covered in just a platform. So first, let's just check how the platform will look when you join in. You're going to come in here, you're going to do your introduction, you will get some points because of that. And then once you get the access over here, you're going to log in to a system. We have put all the screenshots right here, and it tells you what to cover in the beginning. So let's go ahead and let me show you practically how you're going to access the week 1. Let's say you just joined this program right now and you're about to start week 1 self-paced, which is due to, let's say, in 7 days. There you go. It's simple as that. You're going to log in from your using your web browser. This is going to be your Network Pro course, and you will start with introduction, and then it tells you exactly how to use a lab, how to use these equipments. We help, basic help in this is provided from us, and then of course if there's an issue with these labs or anything like that, you have a support from Testout. So here you will see the network basics will start. These are just videos, explanation, which is very important in the beginning for someone to understand different types and everything. So this is one way you're learning right now. You're learning all this stuff, and if you don't get it, you're probably going to watch it again just so you can get that understanding going on. And then when it gets to the point where you go to cables and connectors, you see it's getting into more networking, right? So now you're seeing some labs going on over here. Connect fiber optic cables. So let's go ahead and click on this lab, and let me show you how interactive this is. So when you open this lab, it tells you exactly like what kind of scenario you're going to be in. You're going to be your work as an IT administrator in a corporate environment, and then you see it gives you that information that this is what you're going to do. And look at this. This is so neat that you have a whole cabling, devices, the networking. When you go to an office and you open that door for the first time as a network engineer, or even as a help desk, you see these different devices, you see these different cables, you see these different connectors, all of these things that are important for you to know what these little tiny things are. And then of course, then how are they connecting all these different equipments, because that's what a network engineer does. Or even if you are a sysadmin, even if you are any advanced level engineer, IT role, any role, you got to understand what is going on over here. That's just very simple for anyone to say that I'm an engineer and you want that money to be making more than 70, 80, 90K. You got to understand these things, because without that you cannot be called that, or you cannot be given that kind of money, because you're dealing with the very expensive systems. So now here's the thing. You will do this. You will come over here. You will play around with these different labs. You're going to understand it. And this is more like you're pushing yourself to learn, because it's given to you. And everything is very nice and clean, and everything is connected. But at the end, it is still simulation, right? You're going to have some type of questions. You're going to have some type of doubts. For example, in Network Plus course, or even if you're doing a CCNA course on your 9th weeks, and you're, let's say, doing something like switch management, and then here you do configure VLAN, and then let's say configure VLAN, configure the VLAN lab. Let's go ahead and open that. Now here you see that it's almost real routers and switches. So it's going to tell you exactly what is the scenario on the left side, switch 1, all the interfaces, and if you click on switch B right here, so now you're in this switch. So you can see that this is almost acting like a real switch, but there could be something that you may not know as a beginner, right? And you're doing everything correctly, you're just learning everything what you have been taught in this whole program. But at the same time, if you're working on it and then let's say there's some real stuff that is missing, you don't know that because you don't have that experience. And that is where the trainer is going to play a big role right here to even tell you, even if you don't know anything. So you may not even have a question, now you will be taught about this new thing that you didn't know. And that's where you'll come across, and that's why in networking a trainer is extremely important, because they're bringing that value that you don't know and the skills. And of course, that's just one example. There are many other things that trainers are going to then show you that, in the real world, this is how it works. There may be an issue with the switch being, this or that. There's a lot of scenarios that a trainer can then add to this specific modules. And again, this is just one course we're talking about. When it gets to more CCNA level, you're going to see exactly the same switches like this, and more about networking then in very detail. And there's going to be a lot of doubts then. And that is where the trainer is going to then teach you some of the things that they came across in their career. And for that doubts to be cleared, then this is where trainer live session comes into play. This is what makes this program modern and at the same time very powerful. So then you have that clear understanding and less stressful way to become an engineer. No one can claim that you will never get stress. You will definitely get stress just by learning all these things, but at least it's guided. At least you have someone to guide you now. At the end, someone is clearing that week worth of doubts now, right? And that is why it is very powerful. So how does the trainer then do all these things? So once you're going to go over there, of course, these are going to be way more than cabling over here. You're going to get into a systems, you're going to configure routers, switches, and of course, because it's a Network Plus course, it's not going to go into a lot of deep skills. And that's what the instructor is going to do the same thing. He or she, they're not going to get into an extreme details right from the first starting of this program. They're going to break things down for you easily. And then when it gets to a CCNA level weeks, then yes, you're going to get into a lot of hardcore stuff. And that is where you're going to learn even more advanced stuff from this instructor. Now let's see, when is the time for week 1, then how does the instructor then show things? Let me just show you a quick demo, and I'm just going to move over and talk over it basically. So here, simply when you finish the first week, instructor is going to go live. And here's the thing about our trainings, that if you miss our live trainings or live sessions, then it's going to be recorded. So for some reason, if you can't make it, then you're just going to watch it in your live discussion area when instructor finishes it. And you can see instructors now explaining everything the way instructor thinks that things are missing from that content. So instructor is going to go back and review everything. Of course, instructor is not going to show you exactly every single thing from these modules, but anything that is important. Then instructor is going to explain some of these connectors that are probably not explained in that simulations or things like that. Then after that, instructor is going to go open up real CMD commands and try to just give you that understanding of how to use networking tools like ping or CMD commands and things like that are commonly used by a network engineer from the beginning, from very scratch, right? And then instructor goes into more deeper and trying to get into a place where then you're going to start doing some of the demos on, let's say, packet tracer. So let me just move forward, and you can see now instructor is going to some quizzes, and here instructor is now using the same approach that you have learned in the simulations, and whatever you have learned in the simulation, then instructor is going to open it in packet tracer and try to troubleshoot things. And then instructor probably will show you something on Wireshark, like a real applications, to give you some of the basic understanding of TCP, UDP, and how these ports works. Of course, like I said, in the beginning, we're not going to bombard you with extreme details or extreme technical things, because nobody learns that way. Everything has to be done in a sequence, structured, and that's why this program is going to be awesome for people who want to now learn and grow in IT the proper way. And that is what we are going to target. And once you finish this program, we think and we hope, and that is our goal, that you will be very strong with your core networking, and you can then tackle on any other advanced position which we are going to offer as well in JSS. So if you're interested in this program and you like this approach, then make sure to watch the whole details, and then go ahead and join us in this program. We're going to offer this on different schedules. This link will be provided in the description, in the Discord. I'll share the link. If you feel like you want to come in and inquire about it, you should definitely join our Discord, community Discord. And you can, when you come over here to this Discord, you see the Junior Network Engineer program is available right here, and it tells you how to register. If you feel like you're the brand new person, you want to get into IT, then you should be in this channel and apply for this program, because then it's the same method, but we're using different courses for that. Thank you so much. If you have any query, you can also comment and I'll reply. Thank you.